Hello everyone, I'm Mikki Trowbridge and welcome to your practice. This is the first in a new series I'm creating that I'm really excited about. That's going to be called your pre-flight routine. So just short mini practices to inform and build awareness in parts of the body or certain actions within the body that are going to benefit and give power to our inversion practice. Yay! So short and sweet, we're going to get right to it. For this practice, you're going to want a block or something that acts like a block, and you're going to want a wall space that is clear at least to about as high as maybe your waist or chest area. We're not coming fully up into handstand, but we are going to do L-shaped handstands, and we're going to start down on our back. So as you come down onto your back, we're going to take your block in between your hands on its long side and take your arms up overhead. Arms are going to be straight, pressing into that block, and we're going to hover the hands off the ground. And let's just start here with knees bent, feet on the ground. Feel your belly fill up as you inhale. And feel your belly button pull toward the spine as you exhale. Two more breaths here like this. As that belly button pulls toward the ground, feel the sides of your waist draw in. Feel the valley of your low back minimize. So there's still natural curve, but there's an awareness of not over curving. And instead of letting the shoulders feel really heavy, can you reach that block back to create length? Same work, but we're going to take your legs out to straight. Heels on the ground, toes pointing toward the sky, inner thighs lengthening down. That natural curve will be really present in the body now, but I want you again, as you exhale each time, to almost feel like you're hollowing out the body. This practice is focusing on the line of our body, the line of our handstand, and it's easier to set that template here on the ground than it is when we're upside down. How do we remove the over curving, the back bend in our upside down poses? It starts here. So keeping that work in the breath, let's really root your left heel down into the ground, take your right foot up toward the sky. Lengthen out through both heels. Continue to feel the work of your breath. And then as you exhale, we're going to start to alternate. Right leg goes down, left leg goes up. Stay for your inhale, get long. And then exhale, switch. Inhale for length. Exhale, feel the work of the midsection as those legs change. Arms and block are still floating. One more time, we'll switch. And then option 1 is to stay with this. Option 2 is to bring that left leg up to meet your right leg. Stay for the inhale, get long. And then with the big toes drawn together, press out through your heels as you exhale, nice and slow, lowering the legs any amount, at the most to hover off the ground. And do your best to minimize how much bigger that low back curve gets. Can it just be your natural standing curve? Nice and slow, bring those legs back up. Take a breath to regroup. Lengthen back through the fingertips. Big inhale. Slow and steady as you exhale. Feel the work of the midsection, holding your body together, finding that line as you lower the legs. Let's stay for the inhale, get long. Stay for the exhale, fill the low back. And then inhale, legs to the sky. And let's go ahead and bring the block to the ground beside your mat, arms by your side. We'll bend the knees, give yourself a hug. And then we're going to rock up and down your spine, and we're just going to bring ourselves all the way up and over onto the belly. So from supine to prone. And you're still going to want that block. So now the block's still between your hands. is going to go out in front of you, arms straight, palms pressing into the edges of the block, forehead on your mat, legs are straight behind you with the toes pointing back. As you inhale, feel the belly press into the floor. As you exhale, feel that same work in your belly, but now you're going to try to create a gap of space between your belly and the floor. Inhale, let it go. So it's not so important that that gap of space actually is created as the actions that would make the belly lift off the ground are present. So just try to feel that work, and then if the belly actually does lift, wonderful. And then you can stay with just this. If you want to challenge that and add more, as you exhale the next time, feel the work. Float your arms in that block an inch or two off the ground. Last add-on if you want it, tuck your toes under, engage the legs, push back through the heels. Last breath here. And then let it plop. Block can stay, you're done with it. Let's push down into your hands, come on up table. If you have that wall close by, we're going to turn to put our feet on the wall. If you don't have a wall, we're coming into plank pose, and this could just be done without a wall on your mat. So we're going to start with toes on the floor, heels up the wall. So your whole sole of your foot is pushing into the wall. I want your wrists just slightly in front of your shoulders. And we're going to do our best to not let that midsection get saggy at all. So feet are pushing back. That same work. Side ribs drawing in, belly button towards spine, front hip points drawing toward each other, crown of the head lengthening forward. We've got several breaths here. And again, we're just setting that blueprint, that template for our body to find the line. It's basically mountain pose or Tadasana, but we're no longer just standing. So the line starts to change when we're not aware of what we're looking for. Can you find Tadasana in your body here? Maybe you stay. Maybe you begin to walk your feet up the wall, just to the point at which your heels are as high as your hips and shoulders. Push the feet back into the wall. If you're sweaty, it's going to be tricky. But it is possible. So fire up those legs. Push the heels back into the wall. Try not to let this turn into a back bend. 2 more breaths here. And then feet come down. Bend your knees. Sit back on the heels. Give those arms a break. Couple breaths. Let's keep going. Last option in this pre-flight routine today. We're going to take that and now take it upside down for an L-shaped handstand. So we're going to use the wall. Hands are going to be on the floor. Feet are going to find the wall. And the tricky part, it might be nice to have if you have a roommate or somebody that you live with kind of visually check you, or to use a mirror. It's nice to every so often have someone tell us that we're actually at a right angle and not open or closed too much. So what we want to create is a space where the wrists are below the shoulders and your hips are above your shoulders, completely stacked. The hips are then at a 90-degree angle. So to be type A about it, we're going to sit at the wall, take your legs straight out in front of you, mark your mat or your floor somehow, and that's going to be where you want your fingertips to be. And then you'll start to walk yourself up the wall until you're in about that boxy 90-degree angle shape. So already there's going to be this tendency to let the back bow into a back bend. Feel that work around the waist and the belly button. Thighs pressing toward the sky. And then you're going to keep your right foot pushing into the wall. Take your left foot up toward the ceiling. The tendency here is to let that leg go way back. I want you to try to find the space where the ankle is above the hip. So that whole left side of your body is in a straight line. Every time you exhale, feel that work. Belly button towards spine, waist cinches in. Filling your low back. Last breath here. Can you push that left foot toward the ceiling? Any amount more. And then let the left foot come to the wall. Right leg goes up. Same work. Juice up the legs. Feel that stack. And use every single exhale to help take the back bend out of your inversion. Last full breath here. And then leg to the wall. Feet to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. And then bend your knees enough that you can slide your palms underneath the feet, palm face up, toes all the way into the wrist creases. And let yourself fold. Elbows bow out to the side if your arms need to bend. Let the head be heavy. And go ahead and release the hands. Come on down to your shins. So that is today's pre-flight routine. You are now prepped and ready for an inversion practice. Hopefully one where you're able to feel that line of your body a little bit more clearly. So I would recommend, if you have the time and the energy for it, to now take 1 to 2 minutes to work on your favorite inversion. Handstand, forearm stand, headstand would also be an option. And to apply what we just warmed up and informed into your inversion. Happy practicing. Namaste.